Obviously Viking made a video a couple of months ago telling me to get fit because there was going to be an event. You'll probably see that on my Facebook page.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to tell you about what I feel will be the ultimate fight card at some point next year. This would be the ideal fight card. I don't necessarily think all these fights would happen on this card, but they could. And I think a lot of them will, so I'm going to go over that in a second after I address some stuff that Decca Heggie, bareknuckle brawler, big old tough guy in the UK, he had mentioned my name a couple of times. I know him like a little bit, I did talk to him once live on his show. But somebody sent me this video and I want to just address and clarify a few things. But go ahead and check him out, man. His YouTube channel, I think he's got more than one, but the one that this video is on, Bareknuckle Street Fighting Brawls, which I'll link in the description. Go ahead and check that out. But let me address a couple of things he said real quick.
Martin told me that there was going to be an event in the Middle East and that I was going to be fighting Danny Christie.
Okay, so as far as the Martin that he's referring to, that's Martino Martin. It might be Martino Golf if he changed his username, but the guy is great at Muay Thai and golf. He's also my partner in the Fans Follow Me content creator platform, which we're working out like some of the bugs and gonna make it really amazing, like super fast and have all the features. So we'll talk more about that when it's really, really ready to launch in a good way. So I'm involved with a group, very good group. We got some crazy names in there. I don't want to name drop, but we got some amazing names in there, man. And yes, we were talking about putting on a very big event, and it was going to be somewhere in the Middle East. Like, that part is true. Now, I don't know what Martin told Decca, to be honest.
That's what he told me.
So let me just clarify a couple of things, man. My team and I had 2 meetings with the Saudi Arabia Ministry of Sport. We were planning a huge event. We really were trying to get the Decca and Danny Christie fight on there. But this was the event where Don the Dragon Wilson and Tong Po, a.k.a. Muhammad Kisi, would be on as well. And that's why that fight hasn't happened, by the way, because people ask me, it's like, we need something big that deserves a big event.
Don Wilson would not last 1 round.
Yeah, so, we had 2 meetings. We presented a full proposal, which they provisionally accepted. And, well, as far as, like, fight purses and anything like that, that's confidential. But there's, like, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm involved with that people don't know about. But I guess, some people do know about it, and they're talking about it for whatever reason. But anyway, getting something done in Saudi Arabia or one of those other countries out there in the Middle East, it's not the easiest thing, but it can happen. These things just take time. They have, like, a whole calendar of events, and long story short, the event's not going to happen this year, but I don't see why this big event won't happen next year.
Obviously, Viking made a video a couple of months ago telling me to get fit because there was going to be an event. You'll probably see that on my Facebook page.
Well, yeah, that was the live video that I did with Decca on his channel. He invited me when I was commenting on the video. So I did say, yeah, get in shape, stay in shape. We all should year round, right? If things go according to plan and we are making the right steps and we're making progress. But these things, they take time to put together. At least the first one. Like, after we get the first one, I'm sure we'll easily be able to do more, and we plan to do many, many more.
I did not force myself to the Philippines. I know I've seen a lot of people saying that I forced myself here. Martin doesn't want me here, blah, 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 blah. Martin wanted me here. Martin never blagged me, but he encouraged me to come here.
Oh, so with Decca out there training in the Philippines, man, like, it wasn't just that potential fight in the Middle East. Like, there's another fight he was setting up in Thailand that I heard about. Somebody actually told me about that, and then Martin verified. He's like, yeah, that we were going to have another fight out there. So I think that one unfortunately fell through too, so that sucks. That sucks for Decca. He must be very frustrated, man.
The reason why I came to Philippines is because I thought there was going to be a fight in Middle East. Now I'm finding out that Viking's supposed to be fighting on the show, and the event I'm supposed to be fighting on is put till March now. Listen, I don't believe any of it.
Oh, so as far as me fighting on that show, like, I would love to fight on the show that I'm hoping put together, But, and that actually, that probably will happen next year. But my fight is actually going to be against Jimmy Justice, because we got things to settle outside of Warrior Island. And that'll be either a K1 kickboxing match in Dubai or an actual boxing match where Jimmy's going to put his UK title on the line. So either way, we're going to fight, dude. Like, if it's K1 kickboxing, I hope Juan Barragan can pull that off for us, because he said he would. He's a 2-time champ in that organization in the Middle East. If for whatever reason he can't, me and Jimmy going to fight anyway, man. So you got to have that plan B. And probably end up going to do it in Philly at the Circle of Legends. Or, worst case scenario, March of next year in the UK, same organization where Jimmy won that belt because he never defended it yet. And he's going to lose it. I'm going to put that belt in the bookcase, whether it's that belt or the K1 Dubai kickboxing one. There's going to be a belt back here in the bookcase, because that sets me up for a big fight next year at the event that I'm working on with the team. It's all coming together.
I don't believe any of it. I feel like I've been filled a cock and bull story, a fake fight that was never going to happen. Yes, DC did message Martin.
Okay, so for those who don't know, DC is Danny Christie. I think he's trying to get a bare-knuckle boxing match against Mike Perry. I want the Mike Perry fight next year, by the way. Decca Heggie should get Danny Christie. That would be incredible. And because Martin's name keeps being brought up, and he's quite the Muay Thai guy, strong, powerful man, we got to put him on the fight event too, man. And I'm thinking like some crazy, amazing kickboxer like Paul Venus should fight Martin. I'm sure Decca wouldn't mind watching Paul Venus take some hard shots on Martin, man.
So yeah, like I said, I do think there was going to be a show, but I think it's all far fetched. £100,000 and all. That's what I was told. Martin told me it was a 70-50. It was a 120 grand split. 70 to the winner, 50 to the loser. And then obviously DC's asked for 100 grand. They've gone back. I don't know what's been said.
Okay, so as far as like any dollar figures concerned, Martin, our boy Martin from the UK, proposed the UK budgets. We put that in the proposal, and it was all provisionally approved. So, and then as far as Danny wanting 100,000 for himself, I don't see why that couldn't happen. I mean, there's so much money in the Middle East. Even Don Wilson and Muhammad Kisi would make a lot of money out there. That's why we wanted to do a big event. But I know a lot. I know they're both going to donate a portion to charity. I will too for my fight, you know. So it's all for a good cause. And it's entertainment at the end of the day, man, because there's going to be some really good fights. So I'm going to tell you the ideal card. Okay, so as far as the fight event, here's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking like these really interesting fights, right? Which is why we have Don the Dragon Wilson and Muhammad Kisi, a.k.a. Tom Poe. They're talking world's greatest sports kickboxer versus world's greatest movie kickboxer, right? That'd be incredible. Another fight I want on that event, and this is actually a positive thing. You hear me out. Michael Jai White versus R. Marcus Taylor. So R. Marcus Taylor, of course, played Suge Knight in the NWA movie. And then Michael Jai White played a ton of movies. A lot of people know him as Spawn. So think about it. It would be Spawn versus Suge Knight. Like, that's a fight, man. And those guys are both great martial artists. I mean, R. Marcus Taylor actually did fight. Marcus Jai White, you know, says he could beat Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee, etc. So, I don't know. Maybe he's the most amazing fighter on the planet. Wouldn't you guys love to find out? Now, I did interview him a little bit ago, and he said, you know, he's not interested in fighting. He doesn't want to fight. So, we got to respect that. But, look, everybody's got a price, man. And I think the positive aspect with R. Marcus Taylor, Michael Jai White, they have like a beef, right? You know, I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm sure, you know, depending on who you ask, like, oh, he's the bad guy, or no, he's the bad guy. Like, everybody's the good guy from their perspective, right, at the end of the day. But, you know, when I was on Warrior Island, I was talking to Ron Van Cleef, right? Amazing martial artist. By the way, Ron still wants to fight, and he's like 81 years old. So, very competitive guy, and dude still got a six-pack. He's incredible. But, you know, we talked a little bit about the Michael Jai White and R. Marcus Taylor beef. And I said, look, you know, I think the best thing for both guys is to settle it, but like in the ring, you know, like in like a semi-safe environment, you know, because it would be like a regulated fight and there'd be rules. And, you know, after they battle, they could just hug it out afterwards, man. And who knows, maybe even do a movie together. So I think that's a good way to resolve it, man. It really is. And then so that's like what, the second fight on the card. And then, well, of course, Decca Heggie and Danny Christie would be amazing because their first fight, which I think was a draw, was a, that was a fight, right? And I think a lot of people want that rematch, want to see that rematch, so they should have the rematch. Another guy we want to see fight, and I talked to him a little bit. He would be interested in fighting Martin Ford, not to be confused with the Martin that was mentioned earlier in the video, but Martin Ford, the big muscular dude that fought Scott Atkins in Undisputed 4, and he's also going to be Shao Kahn in the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. So he was going to fight that Iranian Hulk guy, remember? I don't know if you guys followed that, but that Iranian Hulk guy ended up being like a fraud and looked nothing like his Instagram photos or anything else. And it was, the fight never happened, but Martin Ford would be open to a fight if it's the right opponent. So I don't know the right opponent just yet, but who wouldn't want to see that dude fight in real life, right? And then, like, another fight that needs to be on this card, of course, since I'm connected with terrible Tim Witherspoon, former 2-time heavyweight champ, he wants a comeback fight. Let's get Tim on the card. I mean, he could fight Martin Ford if he wants to, which he did throw that out there, by the way. Or we'll find him another opponent, So we want to get that fight on there. And then, the Martin that was mentioned in this video, Muay Thai Martin, get him to fight Paul Venus or something. That would be explosive, man. Oh, and then me, after I beat Jimmy Justice this year, or at the latest March of next year, I want a big fight. Somebody like Mike Perry, which would be incredible. So though there's the fights that I want on this ultimate card at some point next year, I really think I could put this together with my team. So anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about this event and these potential matches, and then other like fights you would like to see on the match. Comment below.